Good evening, everybody. It is 6 o'clock and it's Friday, so it's time for Flashcard Friday. And today we're going to take on something a little different. I know normally I usually pick, one, maybe two scriptures, but I want to talk about Proverbs kind of as a whole and what's called the Proverbs principle. Um, there are a lot of ways to read the book of Proverbs. You'll hear a lot of people, because there's 31 proverbs, they'll read a proverb a day. That's kind of their thing. There are other people who will, they'll spend, usually 4 months out of the year reading proverbs. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but there are some really cool things that are found inside of proverbs. Excuse me. And I kind of just want to take a look at a little bit of that. Solomon wrote the Proverbs. He was the king of Israel, and he was writing them to his son. His son was about to come of age, and he was going to start dating, and he was going to start, like really starting to have a more active role in the kingdom, and all of that. And Solomon was trying to impart the wisdom that God had bestowed him with. So, like, the first three really deal with Solomon telling his son to follow, to follow not only his teachings but to follow God, and that would always keep him on the correct path. But one of the things that Solomon talks about in this is he talks about three different types of people. He talks about wise people, foolish people, and wicked people. Foolish, sometimes you'll see it as foolish, sometimes you'll see it as folly. Wicked, you will see wicked, you'll see evil. You'll see a lot of terms that would lead you down, down that path. And a lot of times we have a tendency to say, um, you know, we're a wise person, so we want to stay away from a fool or we want to stay away from a wicked person. But what we have to realize is depending upon the conversation, we ourselves can be any one of these people. The person that you're talking to, depending again on the conversation, can be any one of these people, because another main point of Proverbs is it's all about your perspective. It's about your perspective. It's about your knowledge, of a topic. So a single mother is going to look at things from this perspective. A married couple, a married wife, is going to look at it from this perspective. Somebody who doesn't have children is going to look at it this way. A single person is going to look at it this way. Depending on your political party, it's good. That will actually skew the way you look at things. Where you grew up will change different things. Did you face abuse or anything like that in your childhood? All of these different things will shape how we look at different situations. So, you want to be careful planting a label on somebody, and saying, oh, when I talked politics with that person, they were just a fool or they were just wicked. It doesn't make that person wicked or a fool. It means that you can't talk to them about that particular topic. So when you think about a wise person, probably one of the best descriptors is in Proverbs 4, verse 6. And it's, do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. If you keep yourself in that place of wisdom, you're going to have those natural protections, that come along with not being able to be easily swayed or easily moved, depending on the topic. A good one for a fool is found in 14:7. And it's, stay away from a fool, for you will not find knowledge on their lips. And again, that doesn't mean that somebody is stupid overall. It means that in this particular topic, be it what color you should color your hair, they may not have a good understanding, about that. I get tattoos, every so often, and there are people that I can't talk to, about what type of a tattoo I should get or whether or not I should get one, just simply because I know their opinion about them, and their lack of education with regards to what they are puts them in that category for that topic only. The wicked, in chapter 18, verse 1, you have an unfriendly person pursues selfish ends, and against all sound judgment starts quarrels. A person who is wicked is that person when you go to talk to them, say about politics, and they put up their hand and they say, nope, don't want to hear what you have to say, or instead of putting up their hand, they get in your face, and they start to tell you what an idiot you are. They start to make you doubt who you are. And the thing to keep in mind here is the types of conversations that you're going to have with these given individuals, which is again why we need to pay attention, to what we're talking about with who. So when a wise person talks with another wise person, on a given topic, they have a healthy conversation. So you look in chapter 24, verse 26, and you will see an honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. So that's telling you that when you have those conversations, when you sit down with, like, let's say you're a science teacher. If you sit down with a scientist, you're going to have that educated conversation, that the rest of us aren't going to have a clue what you're talking about. Sometimes I hear my husband talk, he does computer security. So he will start talking codes in meetings, and this code was written wrong and all of this. It goes a mile over my head, but the people that he's talking to, they completely understand what he's talking about because they're having a healthy conversation. Now, when a wise person has a conversation with a fool, what can often happen is unintentional harm. This is the time when kind of the devil can take somebody who doesn't have, a complete education on a given topic, and he can put them in a position to lead you astray, especially if you put your trust in them. So if you look at 14:7, it says, stay away from a fool, for you will not find knowledge on their lips. I know I've told this story before. There was a point when I felt God really calling me to write. And I sat down with somebody that I really trusted to talk to them about it. And their first response to me was, Lisa, why would God call you to something that you're not gifted at? And I wasn't strong enough, I wasn't in this wise category enough to know that as well-intentioned as they were, what they were telling me didn't line up with God's word. And as a result, I put my writing materials away for several years, and I missed out on some really cool learning opportunities, just simply because I listened to what would have been a fool in that topic, and they unintentionally hurt me. Now, when a wise person has a conversation with a wicked person, what happens is intentional harm. If any of you see my stuff on Facebook, God's called me to a pretty complicated arena, and there's a person on there, and please hear me, it's my brother, and I love him with my whole heart, but him and I can't talk about this, because when we do, my words are wicked to him, and his words are wicked to me. They hurt, and it's intentional. So, again, when you take a look at 11, verse 11, and it's, through the blessings of the upright a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. if I continue to talk to my brother about that particular topic, the only thing we're going to succeed in doing is hurting each other. And that's not what God intends for our relationship. That's not what He intends for anybody's relationship. He always wants us to be built up. He wants us to have wise conversations with wise people. So for those of you who like to do things, throughout a month, there's another way to do that. To do Proverbs, that I stumbled across it a couple of years ago, and it's just really cool. In chapter 22, it starts at verse 13, and then it goes all the way to chapter 24 to verse 22. There are 30 sayings of the wise. So what I would like to challenge you guys to do is to take one every day for 30 days and think about that one verse all day long. Because it's no joke. It's one, maybe two verses. But read those and think about them all day long. I'll give you one of them. We'll see if I can find my favorite really quick. Here we go. Saying number 12. It's in chapter 23, verse 12. Apply your heart to instruction and your ear to words of knowledge. So if you take that one verse and just think about it all day long, but apply it everywhere. Apply it in your conversations with your friends at work. Apply it with your conversations with your family. Apply it with your friends that you go to church with, or the friends that you hang out with after work. Just, again, it's something, it's quick, but it's a way for God to get into our daily lives and to show us all of the beautiful things that He has for us. And the more we become wise, the more we can identify these two and learn how to avoid those conversations. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. That's all I got for tonight. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, whether it's online or in person. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. Bye.